Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the LFC Transfer Room. It's Jack, it's Todd, it's Damon, and it's Owen. After an unbelievable match, we're still kind of coming down after an unbelievably entertaining, thrilling match. Owen, you kind of compared it to drugs on what it must feel like. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. It was an unbelievable affair. I'll go to you first. How did you? First of all, how are you doing, and how did you view that match?
I'm doing good, thanks. Just about after that, it was hard for the heart winning that one. Um, so many times City won the attack, and I'm just screaming at the telly, "No, no, no!" But thankfully, in the end, we got a draw, which I think isn't the worst result. I know we're getting to that, but at least we didn't lose. Go to the Etihad, get a point. At the end of the day, 7 games to go. Let's take it.
Exactly. Ta, my friend, your heart, where is it currently standing? Do I need to go over to your place, make sure you're not going to have cardiac arrest in the middle of this stream? How are you feeling?
Yeah, just making sure I'm doing good. It's still there. It's still there. Oh my goodness. That chance in the end from Riyad Mahrez. I don't know if I'm going to get a complaint letter from my apartment complex tomorrow because I was screaming. Oh, I mean, just I feel relieved now. I just feel relieved. That's how I am right now, 15 minutes after the match. I'm just calm now, but what a roller coaster ride that was, Jack.
It was. And Damon, how are you?
I'm trying to get my heartbeat back down, to be honest. It's a weird feeling, isn't it? Because we wanted a win. I think we needed a win, but we've got to take the draw, haven't we? Because we were 2-1 down at half time and we looked like we were going to get battered that first half. We came out brilliantly in the second half. And I'll take the draw after that because I don't think I could have taken a loss at the end. That would have been absolutely heartbreaking.
That would have been. So I think before we go into the result specifics, let's hit on kind of the implications of this result. Was it, as Gary says, 2 points dropped, or was it kind of still title races there? Owen, I'll toss that to you first. Where do you kind of stand on the title and how this kind of plays a role into that?
I think we just make it harder for ourselves down the line, really, meaning that we can't slip up against like other teams like Tottenham, United, Wolves, them sort of teams. We can't drop points now. We have to win every game. No two ways about it, really, because City, I can't see them dropping points, really. But we just have to hope that they will. Who knows what will happen, really? And it's we just got to hope, really, and carry on going, the same as we would if we were in the lead. It doesn't really change anything. We're still challenging the Champions League and FA Cup, which I think we probably should kind of prioritize more now because, the league is going to be hard.
So, Owen saying prioritize the league. Damon, for you, where does this sit us in the title race? Are you? I'm assuming less confident than you were before the match for the title.
Yeah. Like Owen said, we need to win all those games now. I think if we keep putting the pressure on, I think we've seen that City can drop points with a bit of pressure. So we should have won today, but we've got Man United, Everton, Tottenham at home. The home games, those are games. They're home games. We've got to remember that. And City have got West Ham away and Villa away. Is it Villa away on last game? So they're not easy games for City at all. So I think we just got to win every game, like Owen said. If we win every game, City may drop, and that's May. Yeah, tough ask.
And Ta, was it a must-win match? I believe that we said in the podcast prior, you felt it was a must-win for the title.
Yeah.
Where are you standing now?
After watching that game, I think I'm more towards the 1 point gain rather than the 2 points drop because of the outcome, the overall, the way that the game panned out, really. I think that Man City had the better chances in front of goal. You can see the stats towards the end, 20 clearances by Liverpool. Just so many times. Van Dijk, who's usually calm on the ball, today he was just, booting it away as far as possible. But given what happened in the game, I'm happy that it was a draw in the end. And like Damon said, there's still some winnable games left on the schedule for Liverpool. And there are some tough away games for Manchester City left on their schedule. So 1 point, still the difference. And still a long way to go.
I'm going to lay out the entire schedules for the teams, and then we'll kind of get into the match and its specifics. So in the Prem, at least for Liverpool, you've got Manchester United at home, Everton at home, Newcastle away, Tottenham at home, Villa away, Southampton away, Wolves away, and that is where the season ends. For Man City, so that's a pretty tough schedule for Liverpool. For Man City, the match that has to be scheduled is Wolves away, Brighton at home, Watford at home, Leeds away, Newcastle at home, West Ham away, and they end the season at home against Aston Villa. So it's certain that Liverpool have a much tougher schedule, but it doesn't change a ton that Liverpool still need to win most of their matches to win the title. That was the same situation even if they had won the match. So, I think Louis is making a bit of a jab here at Owen and his call for James Milner to start the match. Owen, how did you like the midfield play? You didn't see your boy James in there, but how did you feel it turned out?
Fabinho had an absolute mare in the first half. He just couldn't control the ball, couldn't pass the ball. Total opposite of what we expect from Fabinho normally. So that was quite shocking to see, and kind of summed up really how the team was kind of shaken up and kind of very nervous. You could tell the nerves were there just for the first minute. I think Henderson, similarly to Fabinho, really didn't have one of his best games by any means. And Thiago, I thought he played all right, to be fair. Whenever he got the ball, played a decent pass here and there. So yeah, really kind of average display from the midfield today. We did get overrun by Man City, and I expected that. No matter who Man City played in the middle, they were always going to be superior in that battle. But it kind of came down to who took their chances and who didn't.
Yeah, and it was De Bruyne having one of the best matches I've seen him have. He was unbelievable. His goal was a good amount of fortune in it, the deflection it took to start the match off. But I mean, Damon, for you, that midfield, was that the problem point, or was there somewhere else that you think was kind of the result of the match being so open against Liverpool?
I think defensively we were sleeping first half, especially Trent, Robertson were just. The amount of times over the long ball over the top caught Trent out was ridiculous. And I've defended Trent all season. His defensively has improved so much, but today it was such a liability. He gave so many chances away. Just falling asleep. Was it the Jesus goal where he was asleep on left hand side? He was on the left hand side one day. But just before that, they got a good chance of just over the top of Trent when he was at right back, and he was just falling asleep. I don't understand what he should have been looking behind him, knowing that there was a I think Cancelo on left that was behind him, and it just obviously Fabinho was terrible. Henderson was terrible. I thought Jota didn't have a good game, if I'm honest. To be honest, I did want Diaz to play, but Jota, apart from his goal, he didn't do anything. He just kept giving the ball away. Yeah. We didn't look after the ball today at all. Not from what we see normally.
No, that was one of the things I had before the match. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be Jota starting the match because he just gives the ball away, and we saw it numerous times. I knew there was a good chance he'd come up with a goal because he just does that. But he did concede the ball a lot. And so, I mean, that's you take the good with the bad. He gets some goals. He was in a great spot, great poacher's goal. But, he also gave it away quite a bit. There was a big disparity technically. Tal, I'll toss it to you kind of to round out that midfield discussion.
Yeah, I agree with both Owen and Damon. I think that in the first half, Fabinho looked really poor. He didn't play to the level that most fans would expect him to, dominating that midfield, intercepting passes, being calm in position. He coughed up a lot of the ball, and also when City were attacking, he just was caught in areas that a defensive midfielder like him shouldn't really be at. And I also want to add on to the wing backs that Damon was talking about. Yeah, I mean, Trent, that second goal by Jesus, what is he doing? I mean, you got to look. At least you have to look. And if you don't look, at least you still have to keep running. You see it, Jesus and Trent. Jesus starts running. Trent runs with him at first for the first 3 steps, and he just stops. He's like assuming it's offside. It's clearly on, and in the end, it's just a lack of understanding of what to do in that position that enabled Liverpool to go 2-1 down. Same thing for Robertson. So many times Van Dijk was trying to pass it to him, and he would just lose the ball. He would just make passes down the line, and it wouldn't go to Mane or even inside when he was looking for Thiago. So I thought the wingbacks had a really poor first half. And when you add the wingbacks and Fabinho, that's what you're going to get with City just running riot in the first 45.
Let's get some man of the match shouts. I'm gonna toss mine out first. I think this is Halo makes a great point. You can go Allison, maybe Salah, probably Trent. He's been really good. He was poor today, obviously, but over large parts of the season, I think Allison was man of the match. You know, he had an unbelievable save against Sterling that I think would have held up much better if De Bruyne's shot hadn't looped past him just a few moments later. I'm interested if anyone had any other man of the match verdicts other than Allison.
Sadio Mane, yeah, for me.
I think Mane too. Yeah.
Owen, Mane for you?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, even though he didn't have one of his greatest games by any means, got the goal. His all-round control was quite good, to be fair, against Walker, who you could just see Walker, what a player he is, by the way. I think he deserves loads of credit. Gets written off quite a lot, but defensively, he's just immense, isn't he? You just can't beat him for pace.
Yeah. We saw Salah try it one time. You know, he kind of just pushed it past the defender, and then Walker just zooms over and just collects the ball. He was unbelievable. You know, I think I agree with you, Owen. He gets glossed over because there's so many right backs in the English space. I was perusing through Twitter, which is always dangerous after a Liverpool match. And there was a lot from rival fans about the no red card for Fabinho on the late challenge on Silva, where he kind of caught him on the ankle, and Thiago, where he was fouled and then cleaned out De Bruyne, wasn't given a second yellow card. I'm interested for you guys, your thoughts on the refereeing performance as a whole, and were there red cards in those two challenges? Damon, I guess I'll go to you first for that.
Well, the Fabinho, I can see it being a red card, but it's interpretation sometimes. I think it wasn't as bad as they're making it out on Twitter. I think that's rival fans, isn't it? They want to drag Liverpool down through the mud if they can every opportunity. Thiago, if it's a foul on someone else and the whistle's gone, then fair enough. I can understand, because a bit like Van Dijk last season, when they're given the offside and they got cleaned out, really, Pickford should have been sent off. So I sort of get that. So that could have been a red, but the Fabinho, I'm not. And the other decision I can think of was just the corner, where a clear deflection off Salah's shot, and I couldn't understand how they didn't give a corner for that. I couldn't believe so clear. It was, I mean, human error and everything, but that's just ridiculous. It's the eyes out, you know.
On the NBC, the American call, they said, you know, they were really confused about the no second yellow for Thiago, even though there was the foul on Rodri on him. And they said, you know, that makes up for the no corner call. And I was saying, what the hell are you talking about? How does a second yellow card compare to a corner that wasn't given? But that's besides the point. Owen, did you see any red cards in that match that weren't called? Yeah, I guess.
Not for me. No, neither of them were red cards. But I just thought Anthony Taylor, he's just a shocking referee. He's just not good. Why was he in charge of this game? Having said that, though, there's not any good referees in this country. If we're being totally honest, it could have been half of the referees and we'd still be complaining. So at the end of the day, it just shows the kind of incompetence there is when it comes to the referees.
I agree. And Ta, on the Reds, did you kind of see them? Or how do you compare with Damon and Owen's interpretation?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Thiago one, sort of like a bit of a follow through. I don't think he intentionally tried to, you know, kick De Bruyne and injure him. So I'll let him slide for that. And the other one with who was it? The other one with
was it Fabinho?
Yeah, Fabinho one. Sorry, I was just blanking his name. Yeah, with the Fabinho one though, I mean, we've seen sometimes referees overreact and give those as a red, but I think it was a good decision in the end to just, you know, let it slide, because you can see what he was trying to do is just being counterattacked, and you have to, you know, make a foul there to make sure City don't do anything in front of Liverpool's goal. So for me, good call that it wasn't red.
This is an interesting question from Dan in the chat. Naby, Fabinho, Thiago in the midfield. I mean, would the match have been different from the start if Naby started as opposed to Henderson? Because I'm not sure. I don't think it would.
That's the midfield I wanted, to be honest. I said that last night in last night's stream. I think we would have attacked more in the first half. I think we just defended too much in the first. We invited City on. I didn't like that at all, because we got punished for it. City like playing against teams with low blocks. We don't. I know we don't, but City do. That's how they play every week. So, yeah, I would have preferred Naby. I think it came on way too late when it did come on in the end, and the game was sort of petering out at that point, wasn't it? So
Yeah, and especially in the chat, our YouTube chat, there was a lot of discussion about, the high line and how it kind of played out in this match. This is a separate discussion, but I'm interested. Should Liverpool reduce the high line against City, because there were numerous chances that were conceded? That Mahrez one at the very end that had all of us with our hearts and our like our mouths. Should Liverpool kind of reconsider how much they play the high line? I say no. So, where do you see it?
I don't mind at all. I think that if you want to play the high line, you be consistent. Doesn't matter who you're playing. You have to make sure that you still continue using that philosophy. We talked on the Scouts Abroad show every week that there's going to be moments where we're going to get found out. There's going to be a through ball, and you have to live with that. It's the con of the high line. The pro is, yes, you keep everything, try to keep everything in front of you. You control it. You make sure that the other team doesn't get the ball so deep in your side. But at the same time, though, when that ball does go through and it's a 1-on-1 or it's a 2v1 with only one defender left, you got to trust your defender and you got to trust Alisson to make big stops. And that's what we've been doing for the entire season. And that's what we should be continuing to do. It's just that City, when they get those chances, they have better players. They have better quality players in front who can finish the chances off. So that's why I think a lot of fans would be anti that high line.
Yeah. So obviously, was it next Saturday or Sunday that Liverpool plays Man City again? Saturday.
Yeah.
So where do you kind of stand, guys, in your confidence levels ahead of that match? Damon, after seeing this performance, having to kind of have a repeat, very short turnaround, where are you confidence-wise?
I thought second half today we played fantastic. Well, the first 20 minutes of it we showed that we can go head to head against them. So I am a bit more confident after that second half. The first half I was so down at half time. I just thought that he was just going to get beat easily. I think the fans will have a big part to play with it next week, because we'll have, obviously, I know it's not a high home ground, but it's clear that we're going to have more fans. So I think that will play a big part in how we play. So yeah, I'm a bit confident actually. Yeah.
Owen, where are you standing ahead of that match next weekend?
Yeah, I agree with Damon there. I'll be more confident in this game because, I can't see many of them not turning up, to be honest with you, as per usual. But yeah, I think we need to kind of make sure that we're not running all of our players into the ground, because we've got a hectic schedule coming up as well. So we can't kind of stick Thiago Henderson playing all the time. We have to rotate it around. In that game, it may be hard to do, but then you got to remember we've got a Champions League semi-final maybe, and that would be probably Bayern Munich. So that'll be a really hard game where you're going to want everyone fit and available. So it's kind of about rotating the squad and kind of making it work. It's a really difficult time, really, because we're still kind of possible to win every single trophy. And I just think we've got to manage it as well as we can do.
No love for Villarreal there, Owen. They're leading the tie 1-0. You still think Bayern come through?
Yeah, I think so. I think at the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich, it's only one goal in there. If it was 2 goals, I would be saying maybe, but 1 goal. I can see Bayern scoring more than that.
That's fair.
Put some respect on Arnaud Danjuma's name. Come on, that guy's a Villarreal legend.
You're a big fan of his, Ta.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. You don't usually see players move from Bournemouth to play for a team in the Champions League. So yeah, just saying.
That's gonna be an interesting one. What similarities in the lineup? For Benfica and for Man City. Ta, I'll go to you with this. What kind of rotation do you want to see with those next 2 matches? And then obviously United in the league, which is a huge match on Tuesday following the weekend matchup.
I think you almost, I wouldn't say disrespect, but you almost treat Benfica like an FA Cup game almost. Not full on FA Cup side. You don't play your U23 team and all that stuff, but you play players who didn't get game time today against Benfica. You rotate at least half of the team, in my opinion. Put Owen's favorite James Milner to anchor the midfield, and maybe give Curtis Jones some game time as well, and rotate the front players. Maybe start Firmino and Diaz instead. And defensively, I think Konate slides in, Simigas left back. So as many players as possible for Benfica. You try to rotate that starting 11, and then come City next Saturday. It's an early kickoff. We go again, full strength squad. I think it'll be a lot of similarities to the 11 we put out today.
What do you want to see in that side against Man City? Do you want to see a similar team? Do you want to see a tweak or two, knowing what you saw today?
Yeah, maybe Jota out for Diaz. I thought Diaz created a lot of problems when he was out left, and can create a lot of problems if he has the entire game. And then if it's not going your way, you bring in Jota or Firmino. And that's probably the only change I would make based on today.
Owen, for you, changes Benfica, the repeat fixture almost against Man City for you.
Yeah, I totally agree with what's just been said there. I would definitely make loads of changes in midweek, even though Benfica, they're a very good side, don't get me wrong, and we shouldn't underestimate them. But Konate, I'm surprised that he didn't start today in some way. Actually, saying that, I thought Klopp would play him, Matip, sorry. But at the same time, I think Konate would have done a fantastic job in this game. So I don't see any kind of downgrades from Konate to Matip either way. I think they're both kind of on the same level at the minute, and I think Konate next season will be our starting centre half. And so yeah, Tsimikas, he can come in. I think he's just as good as Robertson as well. So it's great to see that we've got this depth where we can kind of change players, and there's not much downgrade at all, if not any. So yeah, I think it's all kind of about Saturday's game, if we're being totally honest. The FA Cup, even though Klopp has never been a huge fan of the trophy, we know that. I think this is kind of a big psychological game, because today, who really got the better? I think Pep did better today. I think Man City were the better team. So kind of Klopp's going to want to go there Saturday and win and make a big statement.
For Damon, for you, big statement from Owen. How big a statement do you expect, and do you want to see from Klopp in that match against Man City in the FA Cup?
Oh yeah, huge. We need to really bounce back from today. We didn't play well at all, but we got the draw, so that's the main thing. Pep did play better. Man City did play better, but at the end of the day, they'll be a bit annoyed that they didn't come away with all 3 points today. So that, I think, we psychologically, like Owen said, I think we had the advantage because we didn't play well and we still managed to draw. If we play half better than what we did today, then we come out with some sort of win, and especially when in the FA Cup, a cup game like that, this Liverpool team just suits FA Cup games, FA and cup games like that, knockout games, big stage. We just suit them sort of games. I think regarding the Benfica game, I do think we need to change it up quite a bit. Konate definitely. I think Salah needs a rest. I think even Mane needs a rest. I think I'd even be playing Minamino if I'm honest midweek. As long as we get the win, with two goal advantage at home, so we should be going through no matter who we play. To be honest,
we're angling potentially, title race down to the wire, FA Cup head to head to get to the final, and there's still the possibility of a Champions League final at the very end of the season between these two teams. What of the four of us? How many of us are dying of cardiac arrest? If that was to happen, I think I'm dead. I don't know if anyone else is.
I think today showed you what it's going to be like. This is just a teaser today.
I kept on saying it that, yeah, I want to play City every week. I love these games. They're like the Super Bowl, they're like hype up games. They're the biggest game of the season. But after going through that and having to sit through all of what just occurred in the past 90 or so minutes, maybe I'm going to reconsider.
Yes, no, not the Super Bowl, not every week. Once a year for me. That's fine. That's plenty for me. Before we go, I guess the last thing, I want to get your guys' predictions on basically the rest of the entire season. After the draw, do Liverpool win the title? And in the next match, after seeing today's draw, who advances in the FA Cup semifinal? Damon, I'm putting you on the spot. Title for Liverpool, who advances in the semifinal of the FA Cup?
I think we go through the FA Cup. We'll play better than what we did today. So yeah, I think we'll go through the FA Cup title. you know, you want to say we're going to win it, aren't you? But realistically, I think it's going to come down to a point either way.
And who
I'm going
edges
to say us just because I want it to be us more than anything.
That's good. Owen, your predictions.
I think we'll go through in the FA Cup, but I can't see us win the league, unfortunately. As much as I absolutely despise Man City, just because how they run as a football club, I just think anybody but them. And if you're supporting City, then I think you're going against football, in my opinion. I think that they are ruining football. Teams like them and PSG, they are ruining football as we know it. And it's only going to get worse. So if you're supporting City, it's kind of a bit like, why? At the end of the day, we're doing things right. Liverpool, we're building a team here. We're not spending loads of money at it. We've got a good set of players, and I think the FA Cup will win, but I think the league, I think they've got it. As much as I hate to say it.
Chelsea, don't forget Chelsea, Owen, because they brought that sort of money to the football. Don't never forget Chelsea with Roman Abramovich. I mean, I know he run the club a bit better than what anyone else does, but he brought that sort of money to the game, and they sort of get under the radar of spoiling football the way Man City and PSG get it. I mean, Chelsea are just as bad.
Yeah, Abramovich was the granddaddy of the oil spenders. Ta, your predictions for the rest of the season.
I'm still positive. I'm still upbeat. We're still on for the quadruple, and I think it's a point gain. You could have lost the match easily. The first half could have been 4-5-1 City. So we're still in every competition that we were in before today's match, and just the show must go on from here. So pick up the win next weekend against City. Well, importantly before that, don't lose against Benfica. Mm-hmm. That would ruin everything. So go through in the Champions League, pick up a win against Man City, and then we rest, we recuperate, and then we go on from there.
Well, we can't lose to Benfica, just not by 2 or more goals. Then it becomes a bit of an awkward situation. We can do an Inter Milan and lose by 1 goal, and then we'll still be fine. It's going to be a great rest of the season, and I appreciate you guys for coming on to the stream today. We're going to have tons of content on the LFC Transfer Room, as every match is basically a final from here on out. You got quarterfinals, semifinals. Every league match is basically a decider. So it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be bad for the heart, fantastic for the amount of entertainment. But for Damon, for Owen, and for Ta, I've been Jack. This is a video from the LFC Transfer Room. We'll catch you in our next stream. Thank you all for tuning in.